Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to some Division 2 ZRL. I am here today joined by Ethan Patel. How are we, Ethan?
So we're doing good. Coming off a D3 race in Miami. Pretty chaotic, interesting, and new track in the game. So people getting their feel for it. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do.
Absolutely. And Miami, like you said, is a new track for everyone to practice on. And I think today we're going to see some interesting racing going on, as we did see some in D3.
Yeah, it's a very tight track and a lot of flowy corners through sector one, and then the long straights as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see some racing and see how the championship starts playing out. As we're in round three now. We're a quarter of the. This is gonna be the quarter mark of the season.
Absolutely. And today we actually don't, well, we do have quality and race, but we've actually got the sprint as well. So our first Division 2 sprint. And I think that's going to shake up the standings.
I'd disagree. It might change like how people approach qualifying, but the people that could finish races high are still going to be up there in the sprint race. It doesn't play too much of a factor. It just helps the people that know how to race, you know?
Absolutely. So we're on board with Eruption, as I just went off him. Gonna watch him do a lap around Miami.
Yeah, and Eruption, a hard start to the season, had the quality banned in Bahrain, and then didn't really perform up to his expectations. Had a difficult race last week where he kept making mistakes and stuff, but he still recovered, and he's hoping to have a clean weekend this week. I know for the Red Bull team that's currently leading the Constructors' Championship by 20 points. And second place is actually Alfa Romeo, which is huge shocker as they're meant to be a midfield team that's currently fighting at the front, mainly in part due to their first driver, Damien Du, who went on to get pole last week, which was heavily unexpected.
Absolutely. I mean, Damien Doe in the Alfa Romeo seat, I think he was a keeper for Buffalo Trace, and that's a great pick of the deal. I mean, if I was Buffalo Trace and I went to Damien Doe saying, well, being a D1 driver in Alfa Romeo dropping to D2, and I was in his position, I would say no. I'd rather have a top three seat. But he stayed being loyal to the Alfa Romeo team, the Swiss, and
And I mean,
well,
eh,
I was just
some
going.
guys value their team being involved in the Ferrari powertrain stuff, and then also, Buffalo's a cool guy. I'm pretty sure Damien liked him and stuff, and really showing that D1 is a different breed compared to D2 and 3.
Absolutely, as Nathan Doan is going to be the second person to set a lap as Buzzgod gets a five-place grid penalty, crashing into his old teammate, Prison Mike. Um,
And but a beef from last season, they didn't like being teammates.
yeah, I mean, I've heard that Buzzgod didn't like
Yeah, they actually
Mercedes
hated
engine.
each other.
Yeah,
Well, they hated each other. I don't know if you remember, but one time they were at that party and they smashed a bottle on his head.
I definitely do not remember that.
This happened, and it was covered up by the McLaren team. As we get Lewis Piper with the 27.6, second faster than second place.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis Piper, the Scotsman himself, he is showing off this season. I think it's two
And
wings on the bounce. Is that Cal that's spun? No, it's his teammate Sid in
yeah,
sector one.
difficult start to the season. Two-time D2 winner in the last two seasons. Looking for a three-peat. It doesn't look likely. He's on no assist, and he's really been struggling. Mercedes with only 13 points to their name, and Sid with only two of them.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Mercedes, as a general, I mean, we've got the combined constructors. They haven't really picked off as we thought they would. I mean, D3 Mercedes drivers have definitely been the top two drivers out of the other Mercedes drivers. And also Johannes, this is his second race out now, or third race. I don't even know anymore. Are we round 4 or round 3?
This is round 3. This is his second race out.
Exactly, that's 2 races out already. And I mean, I'm not sure if Toto Rivas is happy with this, but Cal's in, but he's only getting high points, and last week he didn't really show off or show himself.
Half points from a really good driver, highly rated driver, is sometimes better than getting low points for maybe a Mercedes Academy driver in the back of the pack. So it can play out well for Mercedes, who, yeah, like you said, is struggling in combined constructors. All Mercedes drivers besides really D3 are struggling, whether it be their gear or just like pace wise or incidents. It's still early days in the season. I definitely think they can pick things up. It's going to be a tough task to. This happened earlier, but Barney Goldmaker currently in P2, faster than Eruption. Only 4/10 off Lewis Piper, so that's great for the Williams team. And Damian Du, like I said earlier, he's up there. He's in P4. One to watch out for, especially in a sprint weekend.
Absolutely. And we have Raptor on a lap coming into. Oh, he's gone a little bit wide. I think that might have been track limits. I mean, we did see the admins put out in the announcements about the track limits in turn 6, but I know it's my brain, but I still don't really understand it.
So you have to have 2 tires within the track, which the track is the white line. So you basically you have to have 2 tires on the tarmac. If that makes more sense.
It does.
You don't want. As Raptor has a little moment on that chicane. That chicane's a tricky one. You want to mount the curve, but if you mount it too much, it kind of lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not being the lap he wants, but it is still early doors.
I don't know if this is a lie, but Prison Mike currently purple through the first sector is getting a tow from the Haas. Coming into the second sector, let's see what he can do.
30.6 in sector 1, as we have a Haas offer. I'm gonna guess it's Tyler, and it is Tyler.
I think Tyler's on his outlap. He's just kind of letting people through.
Okay, let's go back on. I don't even know who.
Prison Mike purple through sector 2. I don't know if this is lying to us, but this could be a really strong showing from Prison Mike, besting his former teammate who actually tapped into him earlier in the session.
Yeah. His ERS is really low, so he must have started on lower than 100, obviously, but it's just going to be enough. And he's going to get a 129 flat. So that puts him up to P9.
I don't think it's entirely accurate or timing sheets. As Eric McNerney goes a 28.68. And I think one of the things that happened in D3 was the track wasn't up to grip.
Absolutely.
These times look like from Eric and I think Cal, they look faster than what happened at the start of the session. Simply because the track honestly just did not feel like it had the grip that we're used to from GP mode. And I think this session might have a little more grip, so we can see these guys pushing a lot harder. Or they're just simply faster in this session for some reason.
Yeah, that definitely did catch a few people out, as most people in Division 3 will be practicing in the GP mode. But
yeah, as Buzzgod went P10.
I don't even know a Buzzgod. All I know is a Wash God.
Yeah, I mean, hitting his teammate, really. His former teammate, yeah. His former teammate, really.
Eruption's going out for an outlap, but let's actually go on board with his teammate. Lewis Piper, 50 milliseconds up on his time. Purple sector 1.
This guy, he is so used to the color purple, because that's all he sets. I think it's without a doubt that he is the quickest driver in this division right now. Interesting to see how people develop. I want to see Eruption maybe get
Ooh.
faster. As Lewis Piper actually manages to invalidate through the chicane, so he's probably going to come back into the pits for one final run.
Yeah, that chicane's really hard to do. I mean, what I normally do is try and get as much of my left front tire as close to the wall and just try to mount both curbs. Like, do you get what
Yeah,
I
so
mean? I mean,
yeah, so what I noticed in the in our quality session was my car wouldn't turn into to the front chicane. It was only in quality. It worked in the race, which I was using lower wings in the race. So very confusing. Doesn't seem to be a problem here, but yeah, you want to mount both curbs and try to use as much of the track limits as possible.
absolutely, as Cal's rounding out the last turn of this stupid track,
Um,
and
I think it's a good track.
he jumps
And
up
it's
4 attempts, and he's in P2.
Cal top of D3, probably the fastest guy in there. You know,
I think Freddie
that
reserves.
that
Just,
guy's pretty slow.
yeah, it's pretty
Um,
inconsistent as well.
Garrett Elder crossing the line goes P6. That Williams team is looking strong in Division Two with a P3 and a P6 currently. Um, those guys practice real hard. They're trying to
Oh,
move up to the midfield.
I'm sorry, but Alex Chihuahua and Garrett just bumped each other. I wonder if Alex has any damage.
Front wing looks fine.
It does look fine.
Yeah, it doesn't look like damage.
Because I think Eruption did put a time in, but it weren't good enough. But is he going out for again? I wonder. He is. He's already 2 attempts up.
So currently in the top 10, there's only two constructors with both drivers in there,
Eruption.
and Red Bull is to be expected, but Williams is not. So
And
the Williams
Ferrari.
boys are really showing up. Ferrari in P8 and
Oh,
P13.
I think I'm just colourblind. I thought Damien Doe was the Ferrari, but
He's an Alfa Romeo. Um, as Damien, speak of the devil, he jumps up into P3, a 10th behind Cal. I think that might be the end of his quality session unless he's
ooh,
able to go around and recharge for another lap. I don't think he has the fuel for that.
I think Eruption trying to get a toe off Combined YouTuber, and Eruption just goes side by side with Combined.
Er, Eruption is currently out of, yeah, he's going on his in
He's
lap.
got in the pits, and I think Mr. Sandunga is backing off a lap, so we'll go with Raptor looking really slow right now through the turn 6, so he's not in a lap. But Alex Duarte is definitely on a lap. Coming to turn 1, tricky turn 1, and now he's got the tricky S's, and now he spins.
When you're pushing that hard, you know, it's it's really easy to spin, especially when you're able to go faster, right? So D3, D2, you're gonna see more spins when people are trying to go faster, but you'll also see hopefully more consistency in the race.
Absolutely, as we're
But
going to go on board. Sorry to interrupt. I'll let you speak in a minute. But Sid's now on his last out lap, and he really needs to pick out a lap here. So go ahead.
I was just I actually see Raptor around. I think he just broke his wing, but that that Alpine team looks to be struggling after Nathan Doan got a podium last night. As Raptor just keeps spinning. I think he doing it on purpose is heavily frowned upon if he
Did
is.
I just hear a Nathan Doan get a podium last night?
Uh, last night. I think he got a podium last week, wasn't he? He was.
You said last night, boy.
Yeah, it's a long night, but yeah, no, he was on the podium last week. They seem to be struggling as Raptor. Stewards won't be too happy about that. It's just putting debris on the track.
Ooh, and Sid goes wide in turn 6. I wonder if he's going to carry on his lap. I think he is. So I wonder if this is something the stewards are going to watch, like the broadcast, and just watch the little people trying to get a little bit of a sneaky track limits that will help you out during turn
So
6.
Yeah, the way it works is stewards will look at the broadcast. That'd be too much work for them, as they're already having to do the tickets. But if you see something, you're able to report it, and then the stewards will look at it from there. Um, we don't have live streaming, obviously it's F1, but yeah, you're not allowed to exceed the track limits, and if it's caught on stream, then the teams will have an easier chance of getting it. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's up to the teams, the team principals, their engineers to ticket the drivers that abuse them. As everyone, basically everyone on an out lap or a flying lap, if you're Sid and Eric, there's only two
Ooh.
people still in the pits.
And the back end slides away from Eric. So that will
As
be him done for the night. So
Sid,
I think Eruption's just started at that coming to turn 1, going over the curb, avoids the next curb, coming to turn 2, keeping it flat, something I cannot do. Now coming to the tricky turn 3. These S's are just really tricky. Stays in
yeah, you just want to
sixth
stay
gear.
on the power.
Yeah,
Really get on the power early to have a good run through this long straight.
going over that curve, that sausage curve, that will kill you. Well, kills me at least.
He's
Normally I
not
just try and
purple
avoid
yet,
it.
but it looks like a pretty tidy lap so far. Gonna hope to push through in the second sector.
Short shifting up to
Where
4th gear, now coming to this long right hander. Or this,
you know, all the time can be gained or lost right here at this second sector, especially the
he does it
tricky
great.
chicane, and he does it fabulously.
This could be up to
He's
127, I'm going to guess.
well, it looks like he's 2 tenths up, so I'm gonna call it 28.8. So I think he'll gain a little bit here. Puts him in a good position, or not a 28.8, a 27.8. She'll put him in a good position for the sprint race where he could gain a few positions.
Absolutely.
Probably P2 to his teammate Lewis Piper. As the checkered flag drops and he goes P2 with a 27.8, so I'm a genius.
Okay, so at the moment
And
we actually do have a Red Bull P1, P2 front row locked out nearly.
as Cal
With
actually just went around on his final lap, so he
Cal
will not be
is
able to break
done.
that one too.
So we're going to go on board with Damien Doe, the next threat.
They're really showing his pace.
And I wonder if
He's-
that's still Cal.
Cal just kind of not trying to be in someone's way. As
There's a Haas off.
Damien's looking good. He's 2 tenths. This could be P2 right here. He could break the Red Bull 1-2. It could be P1. He needs a little bit of time here. He needs like a 10th and a half. It's gonna be really close. Can it be Damien's second pole in a row?
Yeah, Corrupt comes to the line. And it's P11 for him. And Buzzgo goes up to P10. And Damien Doe goes up to P2.
What a lap from him. He's really shining in D2 here. Compared to D1 last season. I think that's it for everyone. As Eruption light is blinking, so he'll be in the pits. Interesting. So basically, kind of what we expected with the Red Bulls, but Williams in P3 and 7 could be a big story in this sprint qualifying. Buzzgod will probably start from I think 15
It will
with his
be
5 place.
P15.
Lucky to get that in the sprint race. He could make it up before the actual race. Obviously not ideal, but better this than on a normal weekend. Raptor struggling down in P17 while his teammate Victor Diaz in P6 for the Aston Martin team. That's a little struggle bus in the combined constructors. You know, they're meant to be at the top. They're kind of struggling due to some difficulties between the divisions. Currently P7 in the D2 standings.
Absolutely. So here is your top 10 for today. Lewis Piper, P1. Damien Doe, only 50 milliseconds off from Lewis. So that's P2 for him. Barney actually separating the Red Bulls before Damien even separated the Red Bulls even more. P3, Eruption P4, Cal P5, Victor Diaz P6, Garrett Elder P7 combined P8, Shaggy P9, and Eric McNerney P10.
And for the sprint qualifying, you only get points up to P8. So Williams and Red Bull being very strong.
Yep, I'm just going to take a little bit of a break because I need to do something, so I'll be back. Okay, we are back doing the broadcast formation lap because there is actually an issue where you warm your tyres up with the formation lap and it resets. So we are doing it this way because it's the only way. And looks like both Red Bulls on medium tyres and Damien Doe on softs, and so is Barney on softs. So really interesting.
Yeah, Barney and Damien trying to make an early impact on the race. And hold on.
As we Mummy Patel on the broadcast, that's a new appearance to the league. So we have 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights, only joking, and out they go. Looks like Damien Doe actually gets a better start than Lewis, but Barney is up there right now.
Ooh, as Damien had a moment or a collision, he's actually down positions. Barney Goldme are currently leading the race for the Williams team. Garrett Elder in P5, they're looking good. Those soft tires really warm me up quick, but will they last the whole race? Both Red Bulls 2-3. Lewis Piper gonna try to stay with him and strike when he sees fit.
And I'm not sure what's going on, but apparently Tom's already lost 2 positions and he's already down to P12. So maybe.
Oh, he gained those positions after his grid penalty.
That makes sense. So
yeah, so.
Looks like Cal's going to go down for a move on Raptor. They're side by side. Little moment with Shaggy Muffin with Beamer and G.
Yeah, the big winners of this is Cal. Not Cal. Raptor, as he came all the way from the back, and now he's currently P9, giving Beamer a lot of attention here. Yes. As he actually, I won't say he hit him, but they had a collision, and Beamer and G's around next to his teammate.
And as Raptor got damaged, or was that not even Raptor? I feel like that was Shaggy Muffin. And looks like the Ferraris have not had a great start. As Raptor just doesn't break. As we now know, Lewis Piper is now hacking, getting a 16.1 as a fastest lap.
Yeah, definitely hacks.
Yeah, as Cal is around.
Yeah, Aston Martin team seems to be struggling with Raptor there, but their other driver, Victor Diaz, up 2 positions in P4. He's looking good for a strong finish for this sprint race. Both Alfa Romeos, Corrupt making up 5 positions, obviously Damien losing positions, but both in the points currently, as both Ferraris will start fighting for P8 to try to get that last point.
Absolutely. As I think we have a move where Garrett Elder gets past Victor Diaz. The amount of ERS he's going to use, let me just pull that up. Around the same at the moment, just Victor on 10% more.
Oh, would you believe if I told you earlier that Williams will be outscoring Red Bull right now?
Absolutely,
well,
but at the moment
they're actually equal technically right now, but Barney in P1, Garrett in P4. If this was the real race, they'd be outscoring him, but Mega is showing for the Williams team.
Well, I mean, me and Cal were in a little bit of a situation like this where I was ahead of Cal, but only just by like 7, 8, 9 tenths. And soft tyres will go off around lap 8.
So. Garrett currently defending from the 2 Alfa Romeos, got overtaken by Victor, getting a lot of attention from Damien, who's going to go down his inside into turn 1. But Garrett hooks it around the outside. They're side by side. Going into the S is very dangerous. Able to keep it together, but losing a lot of time to the cars ahead, and Garrett has to cede position to both Alfa Romeos.
Corrupt comes through like a god. Wow.
Yeah, that
Alfa Romeo really shining right now.
That's never ideal to go side by side in the S's. You lose so much time to the cars ahead, and you the loser often gets overtaken by multiple cars.
Absolutely.
yeah,
As
as Lewis Piper gets past Barney Goatmere.
absolutely right there, as Buzzgold is losing a little time towards Shaggy Muffin because Shaggy doesn't even
There's
have DRS, but there's something going on.
there's a little between Victor Diaz and Doe, as
They're going side by
Damien goes
side.
down the inside through the chicane.
Oh, and
Makes
Corruption's
the
hit the back of
mistake.
Victor.
Yeah, it's very hard to stay behind someone without hitting them through that very slow sector. As Barney Goatmere makes a move for the lead on Lewis Piper.
Honestly, I forgot these two were here. Coming down.
Barney and Lewis really scrapping for it. Barney showing he has pace. As Garrett gets a 5-second penalty after
Garrett and
he
Victor
enters the
have had
pit.
contact.
And
And they're still side by side. This is a bit of me and you situation as Nathan Doan has to let them go because of a
and
stupid...
that was that did not look like a great move from the Haas, who kind of just slammed Garrett into a wall. The stewards will definitely be having to look after that.
Absolutely. Alright, so now we have the Wash God himself, as we see Shaggy Muffin going a little bit wide through turn 6. And we do have a Haas off, and that is RRL Tyler.
Yeah, not really having a great season so far. I think he got the permanent seat last week. Admin over at ORL, Odyssey Racing League.
Tom's gonna
great
go...
Racing League.
Sorry to interrupt, but Tom just went down on Shaggy Muffin. He kind of closes a door on Tom.
Went down on Shaggy Muffin. That's an interesting.
I mean, as Tom would say, it's not the first time he would have done that. But anyway, let's move on. But Shaggy is just a little bit behind Corrupt, who is dropping off from his teammate. But there's still a P1, P2 battle going on as RRL Tyler.
Yeah, and for the P1, P2 battle is a little interesting because, yeah, Barney's in the lead, but those tires will eventually fall off, and Lewis is able to just keep within that DRS and really apply the pressure. So when Barney slips up, where his tires go off, Lewis will be right there to gain the position and possibly Eruption as well. This would be a 1-2 finish for the Red Bulls. Yellow flags in the back. The packs have really separated themselves, right? The front 3 are pretty far ahead, and then the front 8 are basically, I guess the front 9 are really far ahead of the rest of the field.
Absolutely, as Barney looks like he's struggling with Lewis Piper, and that is a Eric McNerney off in through sector 1, tricky S's.
Yeah, and so story of the DT season is the rise of the back markers. So we got the Williams up there, we got the Alfa Romeos up here, we got the Haas of Beamer and P9.
I'm just saying, alright, the Alfa Romeos next season, they could either be title contenders. I mean,
I'll tell you this much: in D2, they are not back markers, and they're showing it. The Swiss team really making a difference out here. Buffalo has to be happy with his team and his choice for a keeper.
Absolutely, as we do see a move from Lewis Piper, but they're going side by side, and Barney's not letting go. He does have a more ERS than Lewis, and he's not going to use any, and he's going to go on the inside. Does he make the move stick?
Lewis just gets a way better run. But Barney is able to close the door, so Barney is scrapping hard, but Lewis had a really good run, so eventually that run is going to be enough to get Barney, so Barney can struggle to keep on here, but he's going to try his best. He's definitely looking good for a P3 at the very least.
Absolutely, and these fighting does mean Eruption's going to come involved, and this is where we will see Lewis Piper get the move done on Barney, as he's getting the slipstream, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to wait till the last straight, most likely.
Two Ferraris fighting as Combine goes around the outside of Buzzcod. Interesting move considering Combine has less ERS than Buzz.
Absolutely, but maybe, I mean, the engineers think Combine's a quicker driver right now. Maybe the softs are not working as Tom thought he would. But anyway, let's go back with the fight up top. Lewis Piper coming. Oh, that sounds really sus, but he is going towards Barney and Lewis.
He's gonna go down he's gonna have a little look. He doesn't necessarily go. Look at the run he gets, just able to suck up to the back of Barney. One of these times he's gonna get powered down and just be able to gun it through him, but he's just sticking to the back of him, letting Barney's tires. They should start falling off about now. 7 laps in on these sauce. Not very good.
Absolutely, and Lewis coming. I didn't mean to say coming. He's gaining on Barney. He's just been he's being a python right now. That's a great name, Lewis Piper, the Python. I read that. I think that's something Mr. Reaver should use for the D1.
Campbell in the chat. Yeah, the rise of the back markers. Love to see it in T2. Definitely gonna shake up the combined constructors a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Barney, alright, and obviously he wants a sprint win, but I wouldn't mind just coming P2, or maybe P3. Just
that's why you don't win races. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're a team like Williams, you'll take one less point than you want. I mean, every point counts, but.
When you say a team like Williams, they don't want to be backmarkers. No one wants to be a backmarker. They want to prove that they can fight at the front, and a win will definitely show that.
Absolutely.
It doesn't look like the Eruption struggling a little bit. Saw a little snap of his rear in, I think, the turn after the chicane onto the long straight. So interesting to see what he can do. Maybe Barney holds on for a P2 instead of a P3. So Eruption seems to have lost the pack. He's a second and a half behind. As Corrupt gets past Shaggy Muffin, so the Alfa Romeo is up into P4 and 5 respectively.
I think they were just going side by side. Shaggy was actually trying to make the overtake done, but
I think you're right.
Could not succeed. But this time there is a longer straight, and I mean, if he gets his move done, this will be crucial for AlphaTauri for more points. It hasn't really gone their way at the start of the season, especially not the way Fitz expected. New team principal wanted like big plans, big ideas to come, but hasn't been the best as he does get the move done on Corrupt, and that's P5 for Shaggy.
As Corrupt crucially gets a 3-second time penalty, that's going to put him all the way down to P8. So if you're the Ferraris behind, you can kind of chill out. We can't do anything about a 3-second time penalty. I think it was legit, but even if it wasn't, we can't remove it before the race. So Corrupt gonna be the big loser in that little fight for P5.
Absolutely. As Cow's gonna get the move done on Alex's straight. Not really anything to worth, but
as there's yellow flag. Shaggy's around.
I'm going to call it now. Washgod took out Shaggy.
He's waiting to get back around. He does not seem to have damage, but lost a bunch of positions. As Beamer on for a point here. Garrett behind him with a penalty. Yep, a singular point. Really good for backmarker teams. So he's gonna be happy with that. Well, not necessarily. I guess he'll be happy, just not content.
Absolutely.
So combined as Lewis Piper makes the move down the inside of Barney here.
Barney's not giving up.
Barney's not giving up, but it's inviting Eruption into the fight. This is what Barney didn't want.
Yeah, but now Barney's got the DRS on the long straight if he can keep it. But now Barney has a 3-second.
Crucially a 3-second time penalty. That's gonna be basically game over from him unless Lewis Piper and Eruption are also in risk of getting a 3-second time penalty. Took that chicane a little too much. It's just hard.
So it looks like Lewis is now going to try and escape the DRS so we can help out Eruption. And
Damien could be a possible benefactor from Barney getting the 3-second time penalty. it'll be hard for Damien to push because he is on the softs here, and they are falling off. But if he could lose about 7/10 in this lap, I don't really think it's possible. He could gain a position on Barney's Eruption, really on the back of Barney here.
Okay, so we got a three-way battle for one singular point right now. How desperate are these guys? I don't think Garrett's too desperate as he does have a 3-second time penalty. But Victor, try and make the move down on Beamer. He has more ERS than Beamer.
Eruption has 0 battery. We'll have DRS down the main straight though. So he needs to save his battery here. Just use it at the very end when he could have the final push as Barney has lost Lewis Piper. What we feared would happen to Barney as the soft tires went off.
Absolutely. And I'm just watching this battle before we go on the battle ahead with Lewis Piper and Eruption. And Victor goes down on the inside of Beamer and he gets a move done.
Alright, final lap.
He does get
Eruption's 6/10 behind. I think Eruption's too far back on Barney. Barney's gonna hold on for P2, but it'll be P3 after penalties are applied.
As Damien's only 3.5 seconds away.
Yeah, that's on Eruption, or that's on Barney, so it'll be P3.
So here we are. That is your sprint race. 10 laps done. Out of the way. Another 29 to go. So that's a P1, P2 front row lookout for the Red Bull team. Mr. Duncan Mechanic is probably at the bar right now, not really caring about his drivers. Obviously, he really does. But that's a really solid result for Red Bull to help them in the constructors.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at gap teams. But Alfa Romeo not making it easy. The P2 team currently looking to beat out Ferrari. So double points for Red Bull, Ferrari, that's expected. But Alfa Romeo with double points as well. Really showing why they shouldn't be in the back.
Yeah, and then to round it out, Victor Diaz, the only Mercedes, or actually Red Bull now actually, so the Aston Martin getting a singular point. I mean, any point counts, so I think it's good, better than nothing. And Cal making a decent recovery, not enough to get a point, but it's now up to the race. As
Gonna be the end of the sprint. Stay tuned as we have another 29 laps of Miami.
Okay, ladies and non-gentlemen, we are back. We are ready / not, or hashtag not, for 29 laps, as I really want to go bed, but we have to wait because commitment issues. So yeah, we got a Red Bull P1, P2, and we have a Williams P3. I mean, Barney's a really quick driver, something we always need to look out for. Not having the best Bahrain start to the season, but he sorted that out. Getting 7 points. Hello, Ethan. Welcome back.
Definitely sorted that out in terms of pace. I think he's always had the pace, but we'll really see if he could keep it consistent for this 29 laps.
Definitely a hard track to do that.
Yep. 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Miami Grand Prix. The Red Bulls get a good start.
Eruption gets a really slow start, and Barney... Oh, Eruption goes for a dive bomb on Barney. Pushes Barney a little bit wide, and then...
They're going to go side by side, and they're both spun around. I
think that's just a racing incident, maybe. Barney didn't give enough space to Eruption.
Yeah, but Eruption turned in, so we'll see what the stewards have to say. I think it is for lap 1 racing incidents. Corrupt, another top finisher in the sprint, down positions. So is Garrett Elder. All with a lot to do now.
Not the best start for the Williams and Red Bull, but it is what it is. Cal making a few spots, and so is Victor Diaz.
Lewis Piper already at 2 seconds ahead of Damien. If he could keep it clean, I don't really see anyone contesting him. The matter of safety cars is Cal loses the position to Alex Duarte coming to P6, and Beamer and G, known for his race starts, is in P5 now, avoiding the carnage and keeping it clean.
Absolutely. As everyone's in the DRS zone at the moment, so it's from Victor Diaz down to, Prison Mike. Is that Raptor? Raptor is not in the game.
Yeah, I believe Raptor will definitely be investigated by the students after this weekend. As Elias Piper actually just set a world record for any Formula One track with the 16.8.
I think we should report it.
Yeah, we gotta look at his throttle inputs.
But yeah, this is quite poor from Raptor, I'm not gonna lie. It's just not what Joel wants to really see.
And so Williams back to where they should be.
Absolutely.
P18 and 19. Just kidding. They have a lot to do. They can start on the hard tires, so they can't.
So yes, that's Beamer.
Beamer down position. So he had a great race start, but once lap 2 hit, he kind of just loses all his momentum.
Absolutely, yes. Carroll's on the back of Alex Duarte, draining that ERS. Wait, I've just realised Alex is in P5. He must have had an incredible start.
Yeah, no, he kept it clean, and I think he made up a lot of positions based on people going wide.
Absolutely, as Damien's keeping that 2-second gap between Lewis Piper and Buzzgod really needs to get these moves done on the hard, so his strategy works in his favour.
And a little bit of life from the Mercedes team, not quite at the front, but currently P6 with Cal, the reserve. Did looking not up to his normal standard, but he's currently in P11. He's looking good, and hopefully he can keep it consistent, which is the hard part about no assist.
Absolutely. His DRS is now enabled, and Tom has a little bit of a moment coming out to the last turn of the track. But he keeps it, but loses a little bit of time from Cal. And now Eric is on the back of Shaggy, and Shaggy goes a little bit deep, and Eric's going to compromise that.
I believe you mean capitalize on that.
I meant to say capitalize. I was hoping you didn't realise, but you did.
Mr. Sandunga, another guy that's been struggling currently in P19. Lewis Piper gaining nearly a second a lap to P2, so it looks like his race to lose, really.
Absolutely, as now Cal is on the back of Alex, and he's draining the ERS, he's draining the DRS, and it's going to be enough to get the move done before the turn. So that's P5 for Cal, really strong start for him. Now we're going to get his eyes set on Victor Diaz. This combines on the back of Damien. Damien with a little bit more ERS than combined. So he's going to get a little bit of pressure. And there is a sector 2, and that is a Prison Mike around. Whether he's got damage, we will not look, because we have a little bit of a fight going on now.
One of the big winners here, Cal, currently been P5. In D3, he won with a drive-through penalty and wing damage, so let's see what he could do here, where he's not had an incident yet, but around faster drivers, he's going to be looking to close up to Victor Diaz before Alex Duarte has a good run on him.
Absolutely. So Cal is now in the DRS zone of Victor Diaz, and
as we have 4 yellows, I think that's a safety car.
It's a virtual safety car at the moment. So this is going to be interesting.
Virtual safety car just neutralizes the grid, allows a lot of drivers to reset, but you also don't want to get a jump or get jumped on. Like I think Damien's losing a lot of time for this as he gains it back. I want to get jumped on, but it could be a little bit of saving grace. If you're in a tense fight, you can kind of chill out a little bit before you go green.
Absolutely.
You have to keep on Delta. You don't want to get a drive-through penalty, as those can be detrimental to your race.
Looks like Nathan was actually going to go for a move for Shaggy, but just backed out of it.
Yeah, those are not allowed during virtual safety cars, I'll tell you
definitely not allowed. But Nathan Doan proving that once again he can make his own F1 team, scoring the big points.
Maybe don't F1 teams.
Is back with another season.
Yeah, but I'll give it to Mr. Stadium. Struggling at the start of the season, but great guy, great teammate.
Absolutely.
And knows what he's talking about when it comes to strategy and just team preparation in general. As DRS is enabled and we're green flag running, as Lewis Piper is 3.5 seconds ahead of Damien. No one really got a good run on anyone, I don't think, the whole field.
Absolutely. As Combine is still in the back of Damien, but I feel like
This Cal is around.
What a
So the Mercedes team looking okay, and now it's looking like Pete's
got no end plate,
and
let's Garrett pass, and Barney's on the back of him now. So I don't know what's going on with Cal. Like, this is 2 races in a row where he just is back at himself as Buzzgod makes a move on Alex Duarte, his former teammate back in season 2.
It's interesting. I think Cal definitely has the pace, but I think when he's like getting raced hard against these faster guys, they're not faster than him per se, but they're closer to his pace, so he can't be as chill as he is in D3, where he can kind of, obviously Colin, Juan Fury, the top guys still push him, but kind of chill him a lot more. As Eruption is around once again, Red Bull driver really struggling at the start of the season.
In a way, Ferrari are actually the best team at the moment. Got 2 drivers in top 5. Won't last for long until both of these drivers spin out and do a spinala. Is that Italian?
Looking at what's up?
I'm just saying it's can't say that. Spinala. Italian.
No, it's actually just a meme as Alex Duarte gets real loose there. I was able to see it on mine, and he resets the track, so if you're a student, or if you're someone that's fighting him, we'll have a look at that. But
I did not have that on board.
Well, you live to see another day, Alex. But looking at tires, Eric is the only person that started us off, so his pit window will open up here soon. You could definitely go to the end on hards. From here, I did it on my hards very comfortably. You lose a lot of pace at the end though, so I wonder if that's going to come back to bite Eric. But both Haas's up into P11 actually just trade places right there. I think that was team orders, but the person in front, Beamer, is actually out of ERS, so I wonder why they did that.
Absolutely. So there's a little bit of gaps going on here. Combine losing 2 seconds out from Damien, and Tom is now at the back of Victor Diaz. Victor making the hard tyres work, really comfortable drive for him at the moment. So we are
interesting.
Ooh,
that's Mr. Standing in the back. Yeah,
good for him.
I believe he also made the no assist switch.
He did indeed.
Yes, Cal is into the pits, I believe, for that wing damage. Kind of in a rough spot. He started on the hards, so you can't go back to the hards. If I were him, I'd maybe think about doing a soft stint, getting a bunch of pace, then going back on the hards.
Yeah.
Or going to the medium.
Absolutely. As Corrupt is around, whether he's got damage, we will find out. Looks a little bit. Yeah, he does have a end plate damage, so he will make a trip to the pits. So,
as Eruption is closing in on Barney, this is a fight that we saw in the sprint race. Interesting to see how it plays out here. These two had a collision lap 1, which saw both of them in the back as Eruption goes down the inside of Barney. They have a little wheel banging again, and neither wants to give up the position. Eruption hanging it around the outside eventually has to give Barney away.
This is getting really fiery, like heated up.
I don't think Eruption's a big fan of Barney right now.
I don't
I
think
don't
Barney.
really know.
I don't think Barney's a big fan of
Yeah,
Eruption.
they don't like each other right now. We'll see what the stewards have to say about the lap one incident. But
Nathan gets a move done on Shaggy Muffin, really cleanly from him.
yeah,
Nathan up into
Sid leads
P7.
Sid fighting with the Haas of Beamer as Beamer's teammate in the back. Orel has a little moment. I just called him Orel. It's Tyler had a moment coming out the last corner.
It should be ZRL Tyler.
Yeah, we should actually change his name for these broadcasts. As Shaggy and Nathan Doan almost pushing Shaggy into the wall. They go side by side through the S's.
Really good battling out here. Shaggy goes a little bit wide.
He's going to give him the better run through to the main straight there, which is what he's going to want. Shaggy closing up. He's going to have DRS open up here soon. Have a little look down the inside, potentially of Nathan Doan, and he does. Or no, he has a little look, just backs out of it. As Barney Goatmere gets through on Eruption, as Eruption's already blinking on his battery.
Absolutely, as Tom gets a move done on Victor, but Victor's going to get the DRS on this long straight.
Yellow flags, that's Eric McNerney.
Oh,
the soft tires run around, and I think that's a call for him to go into the pits, as his softs are going to be dead now.
Absolutely.
He, interestingly enough, is going to fight his teammate who actually has a full-time seat here. Wonder what the team orders are like at McLaren.
Absolutely, as Tom's running away from Victor Diaz, trying to maybe catch up with his teammate, but P3, P4 Ferrari right now.
Yeah, Ferrari with the good result here could potentially jump Red Bull in the combined constructors. Those two are the only teams that are really fighting at the top here, as Mercedes and Aston Martin really struggling to get started.
Absolutely, as I just want to say now, Lewis Piper with a 3-second time penalty, but that will probably not even make a big difference, since this guy is a menace in a good way.
Ferrari currently about 60 or about 30 points back on Red Bull, so they're going to want to start making inroads on that gap if they want any chance at the D2 Constructors Championship. As we have, is that Eruption around? No, I think Barney just made the position on Eruption. Is they're still fighting. They've been fighting all race.
Yeah, absolutely something you want to see in the live booth, but something you don't want to see from yourself.
I believe Alex might have had a little spin. He was originally in P5. Now he's down in P16, and there were yellow flags there. So, and heartbreaking there for Alex, but he still has a lot of time to make up positions, as Tyler makes up a position on Garrett.
Yeah, a bit of a DRS train going on.
Eric continuing on his old sauce. I thought he would have boxed by now, especially after that spin where he's already losing the undercut now, so it's just a matter of when he boxes.
Something which is actually interesting is you can make soft to medium work around here. Because I actually did 20 laps on the medium tyres.
I feel with that you just lose too much time, it wouldn't really be worth the game.
I was catching you up.
Well, that's because you had a safety car there.
That doesn't matter. Anything helps.
Well,
but anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, it helps you, yeah, but the chance of a safety car very slim. And especially when you're fighting people with this much pace, you kind of just have to go into the hearts right now.
Absolutely. Oh, it's Shaggy hits a wall. And Nathan's going to get a run on him. On the back straight.
Race, really boring up at the front. You lose 5 seconds ahead of Damien. Damien about 4.5 seconds ahead of combined. Top 6 really, top 5 really gapping up until 6, where the big train starts. Yeah, as Eric goes into the pits now for what I would imagine would be hards.
I will imagine mediums,
Yeah, he
and it
would
is a
not gone
hard,
to mediums this early.
and it is a hard, so he's made the safer strategy. As Nathan's still on the back of Shaggy, just a little bit, just inside the DRS zone.
And in terms of strategy, but it's not necessarily about a puncture. I think you can get away without puncturing. It's just a matter of tire drag. Your mediums are going to fall off, where the hards are able to stay awake for so much longer, which is why you want them. They might be a little slower at the start, but they'll start picking up towards the mediums, and eventually being faster.
Absolutely, as I
But
think Damien Doe has had it off.
that's really heartbreaking for him. As he was well clear of everyone behind him, and he was looking to cruise to a P2 finish.
Absolutely, and I
He's,
wonder if he's got damage. Because now Tom's on the back of him. Look,
yeah, and
his wing looks fine.
the pit window is going to start opening up for these mediums here soon. Interesting to see how the Ferrari handle diving in. Who gets team orders there to be first made in the pit lane? I think it'll be combined as he's ahead. But Lewis Piper currently 11 seconds in front, commanding the race.
I think it should be a rule where Lewis Piper can only now race in the Division 1, our top division. It's where we see Mr. Buffalo Trace and Mr. Rivas in the booth.
Well, he currently can't make this time, so I think he's lost to fight in Division 1. But it's hard for any Europeans to be awake on that Monday morning.
Absolutely, there's a little bit of a Ferrari fight going on. A Ferrari on an Alfa Romeo on a Ferrari, so we have a triple Ferrari going on right now.
This is the fight that we saw in Sprint, but instead of Damien, it was Corrupt. And speaking of Corrupt all the way down to P18, recently boxed for mediums. Interesting to see how long they'll last.
Not long enough.
Yeah, the Haas is into P8 and 11. This really is the rise of back markers in Zero. If you want to see back markers glory, then you go to DT. But a lot of teams looking to see when they can pit, when they come out of clear air. I think most drivers will come out into clear air that are on the mediums, but it's just a matter of timing it perfectly to where you can manage the tire degradation as well as just making out in front of other people.
Yeah, oh, my throat is now gone after screaming about D3 earlier, but I wonder what the opinions on Ferrari right now.
Tyler, speaking of the Haas team, he actually has an so all his progress will be destroyed, and he'll have to work his way back up from P15. It'll be a tough ask because he's going to have to box out the hearts pretty soon. Sid currently in P12 with eruption breathing down his neck. As we have the Ferrari still neck and neck, probably going to be looking at DRS and come in soon, as I've been saying for like the last few laps. And Eruption and Sid together on track, reminiscent of Baku, where Eruption held Johannes for Sid. Arguably one of the most controversial moments in Zero history, and led to Eruption getting a qualifying ban in Bahrain, so we'll see how it works out here. Is will Sid let Eruption through as Eruption actually dives into the pit lane on his hard, so he boxes early for the mediums. So really early for the mediums. He's gonna have to go about 15 laps on them.
really weird strategy there going on.
Yeah, agreed. He's not the really tire save. Unless he's hoping for like a safety car. Interestingly enough, he's actually pitted before the medium runners. So
Oh, as Tyler's already hit the wall after less than a second coming out of the pits. But he looks fine. We're going to go on board with Nathan, still on the back of Shaggy. But Shaggy's actually got the strategy working out for him because he's going to be on the fresh mediums. I mean, he can pit now and probably last the mediums 15 laps.
as Barney picks up a 3-second time penalty as he did earlier in the sprint race, so track limits seem to be a struggle for Barney Goat here, as he's currently in P11 with his teammate currently in front in P10, so the Williams team not look too bad after their early struggles in this race.
Absolutely.
That's the first Ferrari into the pit lane to combine. It's going to start triggering some medium stops. You surprised haven't pitted yet, as Beamer also hops in.
Nathan just gets a out of. I think I saw him getting out of someone, but never mind. Combined pin first of a Ferrari
Combined comes out right behind Sid. He's a second and a half behind Sid, so he's going to be gonna push and hopefully catch up to Sid and maybe overtake him really quickly because he doesn't want to get held up by a person on full hard tires. So Alex Duarte is also into the pits for a set of mediums as Tyler around again, really struggling with the track. So he's gonna go into the pit lane as well on his 0 lap over the hards. He's gonna have to do an interesting strategy as I don't think he has another set of mediums to go onto here.
Yeah, combined trying to warm those hards up on that straight. Doesn't look like it's warmed up yet. It's Lewis Piper, the Python. Now pits.
That's an interesting pit stop from Tyler's. I don't think he changed his wing. I don't know why he pit.
Maybe he had it on auto, which is something me and Joel found out, where if you don't
So Damien
press yes,
and Lewis into the pits. Victor Diaz with the 5-second time penalty.
that is crucial. Something you don't want to see over there, but
yeah.
So that jumps Barney up into P6 with a 3-second time penalty. Just getting on the curb and he loses it and he's now got wing damage.
Yeah, so there's inconsistency problems from Barney. Struggling with it all season long. He has the pace to be fighting at the front of this grid, but can't keep it consistent. Whereas his teammate Garrett Elder currently in P5.
Still yet to pit. Barney does have wing damage and combined just got on the back of Barney. Nearly touching Barney, nearly making him spin out. But
Buzz got staying long on the mediums.
And this is the first time I have ever seen Wash God in front of Lewis Piper. However, will Tom pit now or will he pit in a few laps' time?
I don't understand this strategy with the mediums. You're going longer on the mediums to stay shorter on the stop or on the hards, which is kind of counteractive, right? You want to stay shorter on the mediums, which die off a little quicker, and stay long on the hards because they're consistent. Unless he's looking to do medium soft, it could be very possible. And his pit window will open up in about, I want to say 2 or 3 laps if he's doing that. Shaggy Muffin into the pits. Will he come out? Barney into the pits again. Onto a set of medium tires. Barney will, interestingly enough, have a set of mediums as he did the sprint race on softs. So these will actually be a new set of mediums that he's going to strap on.
Barney
to finish the
does
race.
Come in with a wing change. However, Lewis Piper did get past Buzzgod. However, he will have DRS on the straight if he can keep into 1 second gap. The undercut from combined could be interesting, but combined's on the hard, so if Tom could actually maybe go on the softs, maybe. It'll be really interesting to see what he will do, but I think he actually has no more softs left. So this maybe he will go for the mediums, but still with Lewis Piper just about.
Not a lot of fighting happening right now. A lot of people saying calm. I think closest fighting is the McLarens and Beamer currently in a McLaren sandwich.
Absolutely, but Victor Diaz does have a shaggy muffin behind him.
As Tyler picks up the 32nd time penalty, it's going to be a race to forget from him. Eruption catching up to Cal. Eruption, I don't want to make these moves quickly, as not a lot of people left in front of him that need a pit.
Looks like Eruption's actually going to make the move sooner than later.
Wait.
Coming through the final part of the S's.
We have yellow flags. The Red Bull. It's the Red Bull of Lewis Piper.
And that is safety car.
There's a full course safety car. What happened?
I don't think it
Was
was
it
Lewis.
Lewis?
I think it was Tyler.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I think the flags just looked like it was on Lewis. This is gonna change up the race a little bit as people be able to pit.
This
Some people coming for softs.
This does help Tom now. This helps Tom, Nathan.
Yeah, Buzz got the
Garrett.
big benefactor from this. He'll be in P2 with fresh softs.
So
It'll be interesting though if he could hold on.
I'm
Lewis
not
Piper's 3-second time penalty comes into play as well.
And Victor Diaz's 5-second time penalty will come into play. So
Time
Tom
penalty.
does come in for the softs. And
And
will
now
we
people like
see his teammate ahead? And he will not come ahead. So Tom gets the undercut or overcut on his teammate, but however combined actually does come in the pits. Victor Diaz comes in the pits.
Mercedes of Sid, big benefactor as well, starting the race on the hard. Eruption not electing to pit makes up a bunch of positions here. He's currently in P7 now. As he actually spins. He's spun while on the safety car. He's gonna lose.
Sorry, who was that?
That was Eruption.
Damn.
Sure. Eruption was into P7, now P10. Sid coming P7, hope to have his first decent result of the season after missing last race and a poor result at Bahrain.
Absolutely. So Tom is now in the contention of a D1 win. He has all the pressure on him now.
I believe it's a D2 win if he gets it.
Did I say D1?
I think he's in contention, but I still think 10 laps is a lot, and I think Lewis Piper will be able to hold on, and Damien might even be able to hold on for the P2.
Absolutely, as there is a safety car glitch where Raptor is not left, but the AI is still driving, and everyone's going to wait behind Raptor's car. So Raptor could get in serious trouble with this happening.
I wonder what happened there, if maybe his game crashed or his PC died or his internet died, but it's very frowned upon to leave rather than retiring.
Absolutely.
But we move on as the front pack is caught up. Victor Diaz and that pack behind him is looking to catch up. We should have about another lap of safety car maybe. Oh, Barney, Barney in P11 looks like he probably will lose out with his 2-second time penalty. Time penalties really amplified when safety cars happen at the end of the race because everyone's so bunched up that you don't really have as much time to create the gaps as you do in the race.
Oh, and there is a crash with Barney Goat there. And there is something. Oh, it's not Barney, it is. Don't actually know who that is. Is that Garrett? It is Garrett.
Also, see, oh, that's Raptor lap down. But, Eruption and Barney finding themselves together on track once again will be interesting to see how the restart plays out between them two.
Looks like they are connected right now.
So, tires right now, Lewis Piper and Damien on 4-lap old mediums, Buzzcott on fresh softs, Shaggy on mediums, then down to P7, Sid, everyone there on the softs. Eric electing to stay on his 9-lap old hards will definitely struggle to keep the tires up to temp as we see the crashed out car of Tyler that's still not been cleared, and that's what caused the safety car.
Oh, because Tyler is still in the race.
Oh,
Now he's retired.
now he's retired. What?
What a good boy.
Oh, I think he actually was still, does it? I don't know. That was weird. I don't know why he retired. Still 1 point for Haas, but just he doesn't want to race anymore for that, for 1 point. Safety car should be in this lap as everyone's together, so people are going to want to keep their tires up to tap. The softs should have a good run. Eric, I'd definitely look to see him maybe lose a few positions as the mediums are a real pain to get up to temperature. So I want to do some burnouts here to get heat into the rears. So, that's something I want to talk about. That sprint race that we saw, right? I don't think it affected anything too much, but a lot of the guys dropped a lot of positions. Damien and Lewis about where they started, but Buzz got up 8 positions, Shaggy up 9, Nathan up 9, Garrett up 6, Sid up 8, and Eric up 8 positions. So people that really just kept it consistent and didn't really have too many moments are towards the front of the grid, and that just shows how much you need consistency compared to pace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we should be getting ready to go green here. What are your predictions on the podium here?
I think we have a Damien Doe P1, Buzzgod, Lewis Piper P2, and Buzzgod P3.
Interesting. You have Damien P1. I have Lewis P1. I mean, he was gaining nearly a second a lap at the start of the race on Damien. Calmed down towards the end, but now he's going to be able to push. I don't think Damien will be able to fight him too hard.
If anything happens, I am rooting for my boy.
Ooh. So,
Sid.
My camera was actually really cool, and I was able to see everyone weaving. Alex Duarte hit the wall while he was weaving, and I think he has wing damage. Yeah, he's missing an end plate.
Oh no, that is not good.
That's a very much an Ericsson hit me moment. Not his finest hour. Yeah, he's gonna dive into the pit lane as we go green. And at the start, it's gonna be pretty easy as Eric McNerney around on the old hards. Definitely not ideal. Sid gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags that probably be removed at the race. As Damien makes the move on Lewis, but Lewis fighting back, both wheel to wheel here. They're actually ghosting through each other.
And Shaggy
what
Buffy
is happening?
Comes into play.
Did Lewis Piper have a moment, or was he disconnected for a second? Lewis dropping every position. What happened there? Lewis is disconnected, and this is tragic for the championship. What is happening?
I mean, I don't care. I mean, this is going to be more entertaining. because now Damien
What-
Doe is in P1, and
This is a
Buzzgod
decent
is
moment.
going to fight to the end. And we have a Nathan P3, so P4, really good result for him if he can stick it out. Definitely.
Combined YouTuber, the Ferrari is around. He's down into P17. The Red Bulls are together. This race kind of just exploded. It's opened a whole new door. Ed and Nathan up 11 positions from where they started. Codemasters, can we fix the game, please? As Lewis is back in the session, he's probably going to be livid here.
And now Eruption gets a 5-second time penalty, but that will definitely get removed as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, Lewis
be
will
hard to
be
navigate.
frustrated, angry, because that's a podium. That's even a podium missed out.
at the very least, it was a podium. I mean, he was very much on for the win with his pace. I think it's gonna be a little math this week, but he's gonna control the championship, and I think definitely push on here and then get him next week.
Absolutely.
But there's still 6 laps left. He could make up a few positions. That 3-second time penalty will hurt him as Eruption gets through on Barney Goatmere. And Eruption gonna be looking to get through on Garrett as well in the coming laps. Buzzcon sticking with Damien, but it doesn't look too easy. Buzzcon should have a really big tire advantage, but if he can't capitalize on it now, it's just gonna go away towards the end of the race where Damien will.
So the
the
Eruption
better
using
tire.
always ERS, whereas Bunny has a little bit of a moment, snap of oversteer, and Lewis has gone wide. What's happened to Lewis?
I think he's struggling getting back in the rhythm. You know, when you leave the session or when you stop racing, then it's harder to get back in control. Whereas he was in the rhythm, he had done 20 laps of this race, and he's very much on for the win.
Absolutely. So now we have a Cal with a 3-second time penalty, Barney with a 5 seconds.
As Garrett's gonna go down the inside of Shaggy Muffin here. Makes the move stick, but will he be able to get down on the power fast enough? No, he won't. Shaggy keeps the position, but Garrett's gonna have a look down the outside at turn 1. Later on the brakes, will he make it around? He hooks it around the outside, but has the inside going to the gas, gets a little wobbly, and Shaggy keeps the position. And now he's gonna be under threat from Eruption, who is able to get around. And Eruption does go down the inside, and he's around on Garrett. Garrett losing 2 positions there, as Sid and currently in P4.
Eruption is now
is-
spun out. He lost a back end through turn 6.
This is not going to be a race to remember for Red Bull. They are really struggling this race. Eruption just on pure consistency, and obviously Lewis's problem that I wonder what happened there. But speaking of Red Bull struggles, we could talk about Mercedes, who P4 and 7 after the start of their season. Definitely happy with that, and I think Sid will be a lot happier. Obviously, not up to his expectations. He expects to be winning races, fighting for podiums, but it's a really good result from him, as he's going to be looking to close up on Nathan Doan. And Damien still ahead of Buzzcott, and this tire advantage is just going to get stronger from Damien, so Buzzcott has to make a move soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, Tom definitely does need to get the move done soon. However, Nathan Doan in the P3 spot coming back. This could be a back-to-back podium for him.
Yeah, Nathan, the D3 champion,
Somehow.
didn't really have the pace in qualifying, but he's a racer. He knows how to keep it consistent. He's able to get positions in the race.
Absolutely. As Tom is still in the back of Damien right now. And Tom looks like he's losing quite a bit of grip. I mean, he's still got the grip, but I mean, you can definitely see it's dropping away. Damien gets a better exit than Thomas Bisbee. And we have Victor Diaz at P9, and I'm just going to quickly pop up the penalties. So yeah, Barney picked 3 seconds, Carol 3 seconds. So this will actually put Victor P7.
Oh yeah, Victor was able to serve his 5-second time penalty. So yeah, he's actually clear right now. So yeah, he's looking out for a good finish for that Aston Martin, who desperately needs one. Currently down in the constructor standings. I believe they're P7 from what I saw earlier.
I think
Buzzcott.
you are right.
Buzzcon needs to start making inroads on Damien here if he wants any chance at this win. Yeah, like I keep saying, the tire advantage Damien has is on the mediums. They only get stronger throughout the race, whereas these softs are going to start deteriorating as he's already done 6 laps on them. And if they're quality tires, then he's done 7 laps, so it's going to be a struggle for Buzzcott towards this half of the race. And Sid finding a groove here as he's going to want to try to just hang on for this P4. As Cal gets around Garrett Elder. And Garrett sticks around. They're going to go side by side into the S's as Garrett makes the position back, and Barney Gomir giving Cal a lot of attention as Sid. No, Sid's around.
Oh no.
After such a clinical drive, he's around and he suffers his mistake and is ahead of eruption, and that's going to be tragic for the Mercedes driver who needed a boost in confidence. As Victor Diaz and Barney fighting, Barney's going to go around the outside on Victor and makes his stick as the McLaren of Chris and Mike has a moment. Spun around and Lewis is stuck on, he stopped on track. He just went off onto the runoff and stopped. What a tragic day for Red Bull, but up at the front is the 2 Ferrari powered engines. There's Damien in the Swiss Alfa Romeo team, Buzzcott in the Italian Ferrari team. Have Ferrari messed up the strategy once again? Will these softs last to make a final push at Damien? Damien better hold on with his medium tires. We'll find out in the next 3 laps. As Cal makes the move on Garrett, these two fighting tooth and nail. Garrett's going to be looking to get past Cal again. As Lewis Piper retires, and that's to be expected. You know, you say never give up, but it's demoralizing having connection problems and leaving a session when you're in the lead. So I don't blame him. He's in P17. It's 3 points that he'll definitely gain back at some point throughout the season. So
Absolutely.
a tough day for him, but he'll definitely be back next week.
Which could mean Damien Doe is in the lead of a championship.
No, the gap is too big, and actually no,
I think it is. I think he will be.
Yeah, Damien probably will lead the championship.
Especially by a big gap.
So an Alfa Romeo driver leading the championship 3 rounds in.
Definitely be by a big gap.
Corrupt and Beamer. A little fight there as Corrupt gets ahead of Beamer. At the front, the gap is staying at 6/10. Buzzcott making inroads at the straight, but just doesn't have enough grip now, as those tires are going to start falling off now.
Ooh,
Shaggy Muffin.
Oh my god.
Shaggy Muffin and Nathan fighting for the last podium position. Is Shaggy has a little moment, has to go off the track. Does he have wing damage? Doesn't look like it. I think he was just maybe put off a little by Nathan, as Garrett's going to have a look down the inside of Shaggy. Shaggy goes around the outside, gets the power down early, but now Garrett's going to be all over the back of him with his teammate chasing him down. Yeah, and in the front, Damien's built the gap for a second on Buzzcott as Victor Diaz gets through on Barney. They're actually side by side, but Victor seems to have made the position. He's going to go down the inside here. Still a bit longer on the straight. Actually, Barney gets the power down and is able to go ahead. The DRS, yeah. So Barney ahead is Nathan Doan and Cal fighting. Cal around. I think he had a moment. He's ghosted currently. Ghosting through the Alfa tower is Garrett Elder. Could be on for a podium here. He's 9/10 behind Nathan. He's going to be pushing like hell to get a podium for the Williams team. How interesting would it be to see Alfa Romeo and Williams on the podium? Okay, I guess not. We won't know as Barney Gobier makes the move on Shaggy around the outside. Is he able to make it stick? No. Shaggy closes the door. Shaggy P5. Shaggy around. Shaggy, a big moment, hits the wall. that's gonna be race over for him. Basically, he's gonna be dropped down to I want to say P15, 16, as the two Williams in the top five going to be chasing down Nathan. Garrett already within 3/10. Garrett's on for a podium here. It's going to come down to the last straight where he can make the move. He has less battery than Nathan, but he's crucially going to have DRS as Buscon makes the move on Damien. Damien had a moment. Damien lost it. Buscon is going to win.
Oh no, this cannot happen.
It will be the British driver that's winning this race as Barney's around, I think.
No, that was Cal. And Victor Diaz is now back in P5.
As Garrett Elder goes for the move. Was it too early though? Did he need to wait for the second DRS straight? We'll see. As Garrett Elder currently in front of Nathan. Might have made the move too early though.
Alright, we're now coming on to the last straight, and this is going to be it.
It looks like it's going to be Nathan on Garrett here.
Screw that guy. Screw that. We are watching my buddy Buzzgod, aka Thomas Busby, in the Ferrari.
But in the back.
We don't care about that. We see Buzzgod winning P1. He's winning the Miami Grand Prix, and now we go back to Garrett. And oh my God, they are side by side.
The British driver on American territory takes home the win.
Oh,
Damien win a heartbreaking P2. Garrett in a home Grand Prix P3. Nathan Doan P4 hard fought. Victor Diaz able to make recovery from his mistakes. P5 really kept it clean out there. Corrupt P6, so P2 and P6 for Alfa Romeo team, looking good in Constructors Championship. P7 for the Haas driver, P8 for the Williams driver, P9 for McLaren Prison Mike, P10 for Cal as reserve for Mercedes, and I won't be able to read the rest out right now as game cutscene. What a race!
Absolutely, really.
It looked almost certain that it was going to be. It looked almost certain that it was going to be Lewis, Damien, and then I think was it combined or Buzz. It was one of them that was going to be on the podium, but it shook up to be different. We're going to have Buzz going to take the top step of the podium in America. I think it's the second time he's done it, and look at that face. So, finishing up the order, we have Buzz, Damien, Garrett on the podium, and then we have Nathan, Victor, Barney P6, Corrupt P7, Lewis. Oh, wait, that's bad. The points show. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. So that was wrong. Nathan P4, Victor P5, Corrupt P6, Beamer P7, P8 for Barney, P9 for Mike, Cal rounding out the top 10 for the Mercedes team. So it's going to be Shaggy, Combined, Eruption, or Eric, Mr. Sandunga, Sid in a heartbreaking P16, Alex in P17, P18 for Raptor, and then Lewis Piper and Tyler, your two people that DNF'd.
Absolutely, as I'm going to turn that off. And we actually have a Zoom Racing League Azerbaijan intro right now. That's the only screen I can get. Actually, I'll just keep on the live scene, but
let's start getting some of these guys in here.
I mean, I can't drag them, so that's your job.
Alright, so P3 for the Williams team. The Williams team principal came back from his break. It's going to be Garrett Elder in home territory with his first podium in his D2 season.
Oh.
What's up, Garrett?
Nothing much.
Walk us through that race. Home territory, and it's a P3 finish. Your first podium of the season. First of many, I imagine. Just what was going through your head?
Well, when the race started, I was in a decent position, and I got all the way up to like P7 and then got spun out within the first lap and went all the way back to P18, and me and Barney decided we were going to make a run, and that's exactly what we did.
Does this race feel a little more special than any other race? It is at the well, it's not the official US Grand Prix, but it is in home turf.
Yeah, it's a little more special. It's kind of upsetting that a Brit won it, but you gotta deal with it.
I believe in season, I think 3, you said you'd kill anyone before a non-American won in an American track. So why didn't you kill Buzzcott?
You got lucky. I got spun out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, so do you think you could have been on for the win?
Oh, most definitely. I was the fastest guy out there by a mile, no
And
doubt.
and well, you say you hate the Brits winning, but you're in a British team. The Williams team is, of course, from Britain on the podium. How does it feel to be team principal at Williams, a backmarker team, and you're up on the podium, really helping your team out here?
Well, first we relocated to America, so
Okay, gotcha.
no longer. And it honestly feels good. A lot of the team across all divisions, they're coming together and everybody wants to get better. I mean, watch out for B-Bry. We figured out what was happening with him, and he's going to be a lot better driver in Div 4.
Why are we
All
talking
right,
about
Fred, you have
V4?
any?
Honestly, I wasn't even listening, but yeah, Gary, you stink.
Oh.
You should have won your home Grand Prix, so I think you should get out.
We know that's true.
All right, if that's all we have for Garrett, congratulations, man. Definitely gonna want to debrief that later with your team, maybe a little party. I don't think y'all are leaving Miami tonight. Y'all gonna do some Miami candy?
It's possible.
Thought the party's
Alright.
at Vegas.
Well, I don't think you know what Miami candy is, but the cops don't need to know. That's your P3 finisher, Garrett Elder. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get
Alright.
Damien Doe in.
Yep, the Alfa Romeo driver started P2, got pole last week, looking really strong. Looks like he's gonna be in the lead of the championship. It's Damien Doe. Damien, what's up, man?
What's up?
That was a crazy finish. It looked like you had it. You had the tire advantage. What happened in the final stages of the race?
Yeah, so my game crashed. It happened earlier on as well. I think where Combined was able to get ahead of me, and I was right ahead of BuzzGod. But yeah, I was thinking like, man, I hate to win it when Lewis goes down like that, and then the game freezes again on the last lap. So it's obviously frustrating, but I'm still happy to take some good points in P2.
Yeah, really heartbreaking there. We thought you had a moment, but to hear that it was a freeze to take out the top two, the two guys that were on for the win. Still a strong start to the season. You were Buffalo's keeper, really performing for the Alfa Romeo team. I think you're going to be in the lead of the championship now with Lewis tragically DNFing there. Can I have a little like insight on like the Alfa Romeo like team? Yeah, like how does it work? Like you chose to be Buffalo's keeper when you could have probably gone to a higher team.
Yeah, I just wanted to stay where I was familiar. Obviously, it doesn't really matter, and I really wanted to bring Alfa Romeo up, and I was really honored by his choice to keep me. So I decided to see what the season would bring if I stayed.
Yeah, and not just you, but your teammate Corrupt also having flashes of pace there. I think both of y'all finished in the top 8 in the sprint, and then both in the top 10 in the race. So really showing out for that Swiss team to bring them out of the back of the pack. Congratulations, man! I hope to see you on the top step of the podium sometime soon. I think you've earned it. You were on pole position last week. You started well here as well. Had the early incident, but definitely gonna. Actually, you weren't involved in that. That was Eruption and Barney. But yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you. See you guys.
And next,
We have a stinker. of
The
Buzzcod.
man-
Oh, do we now call him Washington?
the man from England.
God.
former D3 championship, most points scored in a season, former Red Bull driver, former McLaren driver, current Ferrari driver. It's gonna be the Scouse BuzzGod.
What you saying,
What's
mate?
up, man? You're on the top step of the podium. How does it feel?
I don't deserve it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
know that.
honest. That
We know that.
that was the most scuffed win ever, bro. Everything. Okay, first of all, I want to apologize to Prison Mike. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I
Yeah, there's
fucked
some
his
bad
quality
blood.
lap and I got a penalty.
So we thought it was payback from when y'all were teammates and he hit you over the head with the bottle.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember? Oh, McLaren really tried to cut him out on that.
I must have been knocked out too hard. But yeah, he's being too nice about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just sad about that. Want to thank Rigrath and Peter, the engineering. That was good. I was literally learning how to do the long left-hander during the race because I couldn't do it the whole weekend. Rigraff was
Neither could I.
telling me to do it. It was so hard, man. Yeah, had the 5-place grid penalty. Got to like P5 in sprints, put me back to like P11 for the actual race. Stayed out of trouble. I should have got like max P4, but Lewis and Damien got scammed. Like, I don't know how I got this win. It's so scuffed, man. It's so scuffed. But I'll take it.
Well, you take every win that you can get. How does it feel to win on American territory for I think the second time?
It is. Bro, I think I'm just American secretly with this accent.
Yeah, you're not American. We don't claim you.
You're
But-
also not British.
I claim you guys. Wait, what?
Okay, well,
The Scouts count as British?
I mean, okay, well, I mean, I don't really know what more to say. You kind of did luck out there, but you also kept it consistent.
Yeah.
You did what you needed to do. It's just a lot of things happen. You know, cars have problems in real life. Games have issues in the sim world. So congratulations on your first win. I think in DT, right? You didn't win last
Yeah.
season. So
Oh my
really
God.
showing your improvement from your
This is
first
the
time in
most
DT.
The most scuffed first win ever, man. Jesus
No.
Christ.
No longer Wash God.
Oh, thank you.
He's back. It's Buzz God. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Alright. Goodbye.
Bye. Alright. Well, I think that's a wrap for the Miami Grand Prix in Division 2.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I'm tired. Coming off from a really annoying race, coming to D2, really exciting race to watch. However, the week is not done, Ethan. We do have D1 in 24 hours time, or a little bit less. We'll have Revis
Little
in
less
the
than
booth.
20. Yeah, little less than 24 hours. I believe 10 p.m. Eastern will be the start time tomorrow night, where you'll see the Fast of the Fast. You'll see the Hudson Hornet. You'll see Luke Leclerc. You'll see Dago. You'll see everyone there. For
Tom Hatcap.
the fastest division. For the fastest division in the league to show see who can top Lewis Piper's pole time and see hopefully a really good race as we've seen in the last two divisions. So don't forget to like and subscribe.